Music, the medium of emotion. It can make you feel intense sadness, send chills down your spine, or make your blood pump. In many ways, media as a whole would not be the same without the music behind it. Just think of what it would be like if a Seinfeld theme never existed, or how the Empire from Star Wars wouldn't be the same without the march. Music speaks with us in such a way that ingrains itself so deep into the reptilian part of our brains that no other medium, no matter how effective, can match up to it. And just like a classical musical number within a play, the battles in Monster would not be the same without the soundtrack to back it up. In particular, the soundtrack from Frontier remains as the highest of highs within the series, having so many fantastic songs within it that it would be impossible to just talk about every single one of them here and now. So rather, I am going to list some of my personal favorites in the best manner I can. So don't expect any complicated breakdown of the instruments used, the melody, or whatever else, because I'm a far caster from a musical expert. Rather, I'm just going off the songs that, simply put, make me feel the most of any kind of emotion in a strong form or sense. Whether it be adrenaline coursing through me in the hunter, fear and awe at the monster's capability, or just serenely beautiful and relaxing. Also, something to note, I will not be talking about any songs that I have already mentioned in my previous two videos, as it would be kind of unfair and somewhat repetitive. Today's roster, though, is entirely new and fresh, and we've got to try and live through all of its mind-blowing glory. So grab your highest quality headset, or speakers, your guitar, drums, pianos, and more, for it's time to rock the hunt! I think it is best we start off the list with something soft, melodious, and calm. Something to differentiate itself from its monster-themed brethren. With all of that in mind, let's talk about Okuru's theme. Just, dear Lord, this music. In a game full of bombastic, loud, action-packed themes, it is quite a different experience entirely to have this kind of music selected as the backdrop to a battle. But, oh boy, does it work wonderfully with the monster and area it's stationed in. The Okuru is a beautiful monster, taking inspirations from multiple kinds of birds, most majorly hummingbirds, and is sprinkled along with a gorgeous color palette and a magnificent area. The flower fields. Just look at this place. It's so lively and colorful, with flowers of every kind and color and bloom. It is just the perfect place to chill out on a hot summer's day. And the music is able to encapsulate and incorporate it all by producing a soft and gentle melody, almost reminiscing and symbolizing the beauty of the area you are in, all the while also working in the monster's design, inspiration, and even battle into the music. It feels like nature personified and gives you almost a laid-back feeling throughout the entire hunt, that even though you're fighting against a dangerous monster, that it's all fine, because you're just taking in the sights. and the violin behind it all is just the perfect backdrop for this track. Beauty, grace, it truly is nature personified. And I do wish we had more battle themes like this. But hey, it does make this one all the more special. In the early days of Frontier, there wasn't a lot to characterize it and make it stand out. At the time, it only had a few measly monsters, ranging from Lava Sylph, Hypnocatress, Spinus, and Okuru the Shimu. While all these monsters can be seen as unique, there was something else needed. Frontier needed to make a big statement to the franchise and fans about why they should care. It needed something to just draw the attention of people from around the community and make them look in awe. And, well, scaring the shit out of everyone is certainly one hell of a statement to make. This thing isn't just a monster. No, it's a damn demon. A demon that somehow clawed its way out of hell, took the form of a cousin of Arathian and Rathalos, and has just ever since then been tormenting hunters, both old and new, with those eyes of just anger. And the music manipulates and utilizes your emotions against you. It senses your fear since the very start of the mission, when the scratched up warning symbol first appears. It senses your hesitation when checking out what exactly this thing is, and it preys upon your mortal fear of death and its endless gaze. If you were to meet this thing in the field of battle, there would be no guarantee that you could even make it out alive, let alone even a sliver, for your soul and body would forever burn away in the hellfire created by this thing. Aside from how the design theme absolutely tears into your very being, making you want to bawl like a baby, there is also something very important to note that is cemented into the theme and tone. It's anger. People like to call Rajane a Super Saiyan. Well, if I may, Unknown Rathian is the legendary Super Saiyan from just how mad it is. 1 rage mode? Nah. 2 rage modes? Child's play. 3? Oh, you wish! How about 5? Including 6 modes of varying resistances. Worst part is, it never drops. She will just stay in that rage mode until you advance her to the next one, and only then will it all end, only once you've killed or repelled her. What I'm just overall amazed by from this OST is how it is able to incorporate every emotion and feeling into its very notes. The battle is terrifying by itself, but give it a theme that tells everything you need to know and fear as well, and it is just the worst! Giving off the right amount of mystery from a monster that just suddenly appears, but making you utterly shit your pants on how the music toys with you, with its slow preparation towards the climbing rage of the demon. It scales in intensity along with her, and that prospect is terrifying. Number 3, Ashanti. I am pretty sure that this theme, this single theme, was on everybody's mind when they saw the title of this. And honestly, what is there even to say about this masterpiece of a theme? Well, first and foremost, I suppose I can start off with the fact that this theme is the culmination of the entire fight. Over the course of the battle, you have slowly been whittling down at the monster's health, injuring it more and more, making it start to see you less as pests and more like actual dangers. The weather around the large exploration ship begins to grow more violent as it releases more and more power. Whereas before there is a calm and subtle air to the theme in the first and second form, slowly we start to see a more prevalent disturbance in that appearance. The beast grows aggressive until it decides that it has finally had enough of you and unleashes its full might. With a bolt of lightning, it brings down the entire ship you and your team are on and strands all of you in the middle of nowhere within a volcanic belt. Now is not the moment for games. Now is the time for life or death. If you wish to escape from this place and to ever be found again by society, you must escape from the bowels of hell it has dragged you into and slay the demon before collateral damage occurs. All of this storytelling and pacing of the monster told within the span of 4 themes and culminated beautifully in this 4th and final phase. The instrumentation is absolutely awe-inspiring, and the choir bits at the beginning of this song truly speaks volumes on the power of this beast and its temperance. It is going all out, only showing a portion of its power beforehand, but now it will not stop until you are dead, regardless of the damage it inflicts to itself, or if it may even die, just so long as you are killed. Which makes it all the more ultimately ironic and climactic when the beast is brought down by its own hubris. Everything that has need to be said is explained just through the themes and the steady progression of the battle, all the while providing a thrilling backdrop to fight such a creature to. It is one thing to have great music, but it is another entirely to have music that can tell a story, a natural flow of progression to the battle, and enhance the overall experience. This is, without a doubt, no joke, one of the best themes in all of Monster Hunter, main series included. And how fitting for it to have such a powerful theme and atmosphere, if it is to be a rival to the Black Dragon, Dispute Pharaoh. Frontier has some of the most original ideas for monsters and concepts in the entire franchise. Much more than just all spikes, as many like to falsely claim. Case in point, the bamboo dragon in Nagami. Based off of concept art for that of a, and I kid you not, predatory Kirin, end quote. The Inagami is a unique specimen among elder dragons. Rather than the usual design of 4 legs, a pair of wings, and a tail, Inagami instead goes for a wingless, mammalian, quadruped design with orange fur on it. Oh, and did I already mention that it controls and weaponizes freaking bamboo? I mean, hey, elder dragons are weird enough, so why not? Like the monster, this theme utilizes every unique, interesting facet of the elder dragon into the background, providing a unique and wonderful experience unlike any other. Compared to other themes, Inagami's differs in that it is the only, and if not, one of the few themes within the franchise to use what is known as an Enga clone, Made from 2 bamboo tubes attached to a bamboo frame. The tubes are carved out so as to produce a resonant pitch when struck, which are tuned to octaves. All the while, the base of the frame is held with one hand, while the other hand shakes the instrument rapidly from side to side. This instrument is what creates the main musical motif throughout the entire battle, even at the very beginning. And wow! Does hearing it in action make it feel amazing. The fact that the composer went out of their way to get an instrument close to Inagami's origins and power, making the theme and battle feel all the more dynamic and closer together, is honestly amazing. Not to mention, all the other instruments used accompany the Okuru well, giving a truly unique feel to this monster. A feeling, perhaps, of ancient honor, a hidden village of time-old tradition, who long ago lived alongside and coexisted with the dragon, only for their exploitation of its powers in time of desperate need to backfire horribly, resulting in the destruction of the village and its inhabitants except for 2 girls, who even to this day remain traumatized by the experience. A fury so great, represented by the other faster-paced instruments, and perhaps the absence of society and culture within the environment, to protect the forest and ensure that nothing encroaches its land, lest they feel its wrath. Just wow! White Fatalis is an interesting case for me in terms of history. Since I had been brought in during the 3rd generation and hadn't played any of the prior gens, the most I was left with in terms of data was, oftentimes, the words and comments of people in videos, most commonly that of his theme. A lot of what people said was interesting, how difficult and impossibly challenging he was, and the victory people had over defeating him. It sounded amazing, and I wanted to experience it all. So, when 4 Ultimate came out in the States and finally gave me the chance to fight the trio and White specifically, needless to say, I was hyped. And well, never hype yourselves up too much, people. I mean, that's not to say White or any of the trio was bad. Hell no. I just found myself kind of saying that in terms of fight and impact for me, they were middle of the road. Looking back now, and with more insight into the previous gens, I realized that most of these claims and statements were a result of the often broken nature of the games, and more specifically, White and how abhorrently unfair he was. Even without all that though, he doesn't exactly feel spectacularly to me. Only noteworthy thing being the cutscene, the Storm AoE attack, and his lore. But even now, I want to fight White at his strongest possible form. I want to see what is so special about this dragon in game, yet keep it fair all the same. I'm not asking for a continent buster, uber OP dragon, hell no! Mostly because that would just absolutely destroy the game's balance. But something that can make me see that power on display, if even a small portion of it. Frontier, you glorious, glorious bastard, you. I am honestly amazed with just how much Frontier keeps setting the bar, both in monster potential as well as theme, and while Ultimate Fatalis just broke that record. The epitome of the Hunter's journey, Ultimate Fatalis can only be reached upon level 10 of the Hunter's Road, an insane gauntlet of varying monsters and difficulties that you all must get through with limited cards and supplies. And what's your reward for making it to this point? Why, a confrontation with the god of all Elder Dragons in the middle of a rampaging thunderstorm around the arena. And it is glorious! In a clever homage to the original series, the first phase of the battle actually uses the original theme until the second phase hits. And holy shit! That choir! You know, the previous choir rendition was cool and all, well, with them spouting hot fish and all that, but this theme makes me tremble in my boots for enraging a monster like this and pushing him to the breaking point. The choir tells of oncoming divine judgment headed straight towards you. The power and sheer ferocity of this dragon, and how you are certain to die. Yet, the theme still keeps elements of the original around, mixing and renditioning it all together to make a theme in battle that is truly divine. I mean, look at this! Try telling me that this theme doesn't send shivers down your spine, all the while being accompanied with attacks, quakes, and wind pressures this strong and plentiful, and literal lights of absolution bolts from the sky. Oh, and those attacks, if you get hit, they don't just cart or knock you out. No, they disintegrate you into nothingness, just like you and your foolish attempt to even challenge it. Everything about this fight and theme screams holy judgment and terror, shaking even the most professional of hunters to their very boots, encapsulating the power and majesty behind this creature, as well as the wrath that will soon follow. In fights like these, you don't just hunt monsters. Oh no. You survive them. And though there may be many more fantastic themes within Frontier, those are all the ones I have time for in today's video. Because really, if I did try and cover every great theme within Frontier, that would just be like, A, 90% of them, and B, take 5 hours to do. But either way, I hope you all have enjoyed this eargasmic journey through Frontier with me. So please, do feel free to let me know what your favorite Frontier themes are down in the comment section below. And let me know what you thought of this video. Discussion is always great to have, and especially with Frontier. I love showing to people a side of the franchise many have never looked at or even dug too deep into. And it is such a joy to see how well these videos are doing and how much people actually enjoy Frontier and what it has to offer. It's things like that that make videos like these worth it all. So, with all that said, I do hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, feel free to hit that like button, share, favorite, subscribe, ring that bell, create a comment, or just anything to help support this channel and the content I make here. I have been the Monarch of Dragons, and I hope you all have a fantastic day / night wherever you live. Peace. Kulos!